Oh, good morning, family. I had to take my hair down since I took the preview picture for the video. That's why I look different, but my clothes are the same. Good morning, family. Welcome to day 18 already. Day 18. We're about to be done soon. We've done more of this than we have not. We have been more gracious, exhibited more gratitude than we have not. So, congratulations to all of us who've been participating. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, and as I mentioned before, we are here for day 18 of our live 28-day gratitude practice. So, if this is your first time watching any of these videos, your first time here to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and come back and see me soon. There are tons of videos here on my channel. At this point, all of the live videos on my channel are directly related to this live 28-day gratitude practice that I've been doing. And then I've got tons of other videos, and you'll just hear me uh, discussing various spiritual ideas. You'll hear some of my growth in there too, because I think I started this channel about 4, maybe 5 years ago now. So I've definitely learned a lot spiritually, grown a lot spiritually, even changed a lot of my perspectives spiritually. So, yeah, if you need something to do, check out my channel. So hit subscribe. It's never too early, never too late to hit the thumbs up button. Give me a thumbs up now before you forget. And then be sure to share this video on your social media platforms, share with family and friends. Get folks in on this love. We need as much love, as much light, as much possibility, yes, and positivity as we can get at this point in time. There's a lot of fear going around, and the greater of all things, no matter what you name, is love. So I think the best thing that we can do right now is be beings of light and beings of love and share as much of that as we possibly can. I think the next best thing that we can do is to stop watching the news. Like, legit, stop watching the news, y'all. Trust me, you will be okay not watching the news. There are plenty of other ways and people that will give you the information that you need. But stop watching the news. If you need really specific information or you need facts, look it up from credible sources and read about just that. But you want to avoid as much as possible all of the emotional hysteria that is going on and being promoted in the news. News will drive you crazy right now, y'all. I stopped watching the news years ago. Look at me, I'm fine. I stopped watching the news back in 2015. So I said before that it was 2016, 20. I said before that I joined the, um, uh, I forgot. Never mind. I didn't even need to speak any further on that. But I stopped watching the news years ago, y'all. At least 4 years ago, if not 5 years ago, or the end of 2015. I stopped watching the news. And trust me, your social media will report and give you all of the highlights, as well as there are other ways to get informed, but the news I would not count among the top ways of actually being informed in an accurate way. There's a lot of emotionalism going on in the news, and it will distract you. So be very, very careful, family. Um, so, what is this live 28-day gratitude practice? Every day we read at least one exercise or chapter or practice from Rhonda Byrne's book, The Magic. Rhonda Byrne also wrote The Secret. And if you have a copy of this book or would like a digital copy of this book, I'm happy to email one to you. Just get me your email address and I'll send it to you as soon as I can. But the way that this practice is designed, you don't need the book because I read it for you. chapter by chapter. So I was inspired by my spirit to be of positive contribution during this time. We need as much of that as we can. So this is really just me being obedient to my spirit and spreading the love the best way I know how. So, again, Rhonda Burns, The Magic is our resource that we use for this practice. And you can either follow along with me or you can go along at your own pace. It's totally up to you. But what I would absolutely love is if you would just check in with me every so often. Let me know how the practice is going for you. Are you enjoying it? Is it helpful for you? Are you seeing anything from your wish list manifest yet? I got a pretty big order on my wish list, y'all. So let me see. Do I have any little things on here? Everything is pretty big. Or things that, like, one of them is thank you for daily commitments to be fully present with Dolly. Dolly is my daughter. And that is, it's a work in progress. It's something that I don't ever want to have achieved. I want to do it every day. I want to be conscious of that at all times and be as present with her, be conscious of and intentional about carving out just a little bit of my 24-hour day to be fully present with her. So that is something that has been happening, something that feels good for me, something that I'm happy about, something I've been making progress on. So there is one of my manifestations. Um, everything else, everything else is underway for sure. But I got some big orders on here, y'all. So I will also keep you all posted and informed around how my wish list is coming also. But just drop me some comments in the comment section. Let me know how you're liking the practice so far, and all of that good stuff. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into gratitudes for this morning. So, one of the things that we do as part of this practice is to every morning write out 10 things that we're grateful for and why we are grateful for them. We then read back through that list and say thank you for each one of them and feel as much gratitude as possible for those things, as if they've already happened if they have not. So I'm going to share just a few of mine because that's what we do. And first one, I am thankful for unexpected checks in the mail because they are a reflection of my abundance. So yesterday's practice that we did was our magic money. Well, we did the magic check exercise. And so, one of the things that she mentions is that money can be given to us in so many different ways. And an unexpected check in the mail is among those ways. And so, I actually had forgotten about, y'all, I don't have, let me make sure we set up properly here because I want y'all to be able to hear me. I gotta be able to hear me. I forgot to put my computer up on top of the books. So, and I also have to be careful when I'm doing it because sometimes when I'm not sometimes whenever when I move my computer in a certain way, it'll just freeze the live. So I need to be careful about that. But hopefully y'all can hear me better. Um, and so I had forgotten about an unexpected check I received in the mail just a few weeks ago. And matter of fact, I had forgotten about it so much that it sat on my counter in my bathroom for several weeks, until I relocated it yesterday. I was like, oh, so that was two times, matter of fact, that the same check bless me. So definitely thankful for unexpected checks in the mail because they are a reflection of my abundance. And sometimes those checks will show up as like, rebates, $10 for something or a refund from, PG&E or some service that you used. And that's money in the bank, y'all. So be grateful for it. Um, I'm thankful for warm hugs from my baby bud because they feel good. I love her hugs. And sometimes when I'm present enough in hugging her, they're that much better. Like, oh, she's so sweet. That's my really sweet girl. I'm grateful for the reopening of outside because humanity has been reminded of how precious our world is. I truly believe that that's what's going on right now. We're being reminded of all the things that we can and should be grateful for. So I'm grateful for that, y'all, and grateful for the reopening of outside. It's coming, y'all. Um, you know, folks are starting to use language like the new normal. I even heard somebody make the statement when this shelter in place very first started. Somebody's like, oh, the earth is healing, and animals are returning to places. I think they were talking about like some kind of animals in Italy or something like that. But wildlife is returning to various places now that all the humans are being forced to stay inside. Somebody made the statement, "Oh, we should do this every year, right?" And I'm like, whoa, be careful. Like, let's really think about what it is that we're wishing or asking for, right? If humanity was, if not, if humanity was, granted that humanity can be mindful enough to do these types of things, like giving the planet a break and everybody staying inside the house for a week. um Granted that we could do that in a way that is positive and productive for the whole. It could be done in a way where people are not being forced against their will to do something. I'm all for it. But let's be careful, like what we asking for. Let's be super careful about that, because if the government turned around and said, all right, every single year, January through March, we wouldn't be feeling that. We wouldn't be happy about that. We'd be, there'd be rioting in the streets. So again, there's a genie sitting on your shoulder granting all of your wishes, all of them. Okay. So let's be careful with our language, y'all. Let's be careful. So that's enough of my gratitudes for today. Let's go ahead and jump into practice number 18. Um, the magical to-do list. That's our practice for today. Did I miss anything, forget anything? I don't think so. We can jump right in. All right. The world is full of magical things waiting for let me start over, y'all. Our. The world is full of magical things waiting for our wits to grow sharper. Eden Phillpotts, 1862 to 1960, novelist and poet. Really, when you think about it, gratitude is your best friend. It is always there for you, always available to help you. It will never fail you or let you down. And the more heavily you lean on it, the more it will do for you, and the more it will enrich your life. Today's magical practice will show you how to lean on gratitude even more so it can do far more magical things for you. Every day, there are little life problems that come up and that need solving. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed if we don't know how to solve a situation. Maybe your problem is that you don't have enough time for all the things you need to do, and you're at a loss because there are only 24 hours in the day. It may be that you feel overwhelmed from work and you want more free time, but you can't see any way to have it. You may be at home taking care of children and you're feeling frazzled or exhausted, but you don't have the means to get support to give you time out. You may be faced with a problem that needs fixing, but you have no idea which way to turn to fix it. You may have lost something and tried your best to relocate it, but had no luck. Or you might want to find something like the perfect pet, perfect babysitter, great hairdresser, or amazing dentist or doctor. And despite your best efforts, you haven't been able to find what you need. You could be in an uncomfortable situation because of something a person has asked you to do, and you don't know how to respond to them. Or you could be in some kind of dispute with someone, and instead of getting it resolved, things to be seem to be getting worse. This magical to-do list practice will help you with any little day-to-day problem when you don't know what to do or when you simply want something to be done for you. You will be amazed at the results. When you combine gratitude's magical practice with the power of law of attraction, people, circumstances, and events must be rearranged to do what you want done for you. You will not know how it will happen or how it will be done for you. And that is not your job. Your job is simply to be as grateful as you can be for what you want done right now, as though it were done. And then let the magic happen. Today, create a written to do list of the most important things you would like to be done or resolved for you. And title your list the Magic To Do List. You might put things on your list that you don't have time to do or don't want to do, along with any current problems, from the smallest day to day things to bigger life situations. Think through any area of your life where you need something resolved or done for you. When you finish making your list, choose three things from your list to focus on today. And one at a time, imagine that each item has been magically done for you. Imagine that all people, circumstances, and events have been moved to do it for you, and it is now done, all sorted, all resolved for you, and you are giving massive thanks in return for it having been done. Spend at least 1 minute on each of your three items, believing it is done and feeling enormous gratitude in return. You can follow the same practice on the rest of the items on your list at another time, but there's power in simply putting the things you want done on the magical to do list. Remember that the law of attraction says like attracts like, and that means that when you are grateful for the solutions as though you have them, you will attract everything you need into your life to resolve the situation. Focusing on problems attracts more problems. You have to be a magnet to the solution, not a magnet to the problem. Being grateful that you have the solution and that it has been resolved attracts the solution. To demonstrate how powerful this magic practice is, I want to share a story with you about my daughter who used this practice to attract her lost wallet back to her. After being out one night, my daughter discovered the next morning that she did not have her wallet, and she had no idea where she might have lost it, or even if it had been stolen. She called the restaurant where she went to dinner, the taxi company she used to come home, the local police station, and she searched the streets and knocked on surrounding doors. But no one had found her wallet. Other than the fact that my daughter's wallet contained the usual precious things in it, including all her bank and credit cards, driver's license, and cash, her biggest concern was that her wallet contained no current contact information because she had been overseas for some time. She didn't have a publicly listed phone number, and with a common surname, there seemed to be no hope. But despite the excuse me, seemingly impossible obstacle, my daughter sat down, closed her eyes, and got a picture of her wallet in her mind. She, vis- she visualized that she was holding her wallet in her hands. She opened her wallet, she went through all its contents, and she felt enormous gratitude that she had her wallet and everything in it back in her hands. For the rest of the day, whenever she thought of it again, my daughter imagined that she had her wallet in her hands and she felt enormous elation and gratitude that her wallet had been returned. Later that night, she received a call from a farmer who lived 100 miles away saying that he had found her wallet. The extraordinary part of this story is that the farmer had found the wallet in the street outside my daughter's home in the early hours of the morning, and he immediately searched the wallet looking for contact details. He had several calls in, excuse me, he made several calls in trying to find its owner, but to no avail. And so he gave up and drove back to his farm with the wallet. But while he was walking out in the fields at his farm, the wallet kept nagging and nagging at him, and he decided to search through it one last time. He found a small piece of paper with a man's Christian name written on it, and so he put the Christian name together with my daughter's name and called directory assistance. There was just one listing for that Christian name and surname. The farmer called the phone number, and it was the home of my daughter's father. To this day, we do not know how the farmer got that phone number, because it was an unlisted number. We called directory assistance ourselves several times after this happened, and the response every time was, sorry, there's no listing for that name. From 100 miles away, through the most extraordinary sequence of seemingly impossible events, my daughter's wallet was returned to her intact. She fulfilled her part in being grateful that she had her wallet back, and, as must happen, gratitude performed its magic and moved every person, circumstance, and event to return her wallet to her. The magical power of gratitude is available for you to use as well, and it always has been. You just had to discover it for yourself and learn how to use it. I want to share a story really quickly, similar to this, that happened to me the very, very first time I read this book and did the practices within it. Um, so I think the first time I did this practice was in 2016, because I joined the Imagination Gurus in November of 2015. April of 2016, I had my first major manifestation. And then Christmas time that year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, November-ish of 2016 was the very first time that I did the gratitude practice. And I took my daughter to the movies. What did we go see? I can't remember what we went to see, but I know it was a play date with one of her friends. So her friend Kaylin and Kaylin's mom, Miranda, we all went to the movies together to see something. And we left the movie theater to go home, and I made a stop somewhere and realized that I'd lost my wallet. And I knew the only place I had been was the movie theater. So we go back to the theater, and I go up to the people who take the tickets, and I'm like, I just need to go back inside the theater. I was just there, and I believe I dropped my wallet. So the guy is like, well, I can't let you in right now because there's already another movie playing. You'll have to wait. Now, the person I had been before normally did not have that kind of patience to be told, well, you just gotta wait, right? So I said, okay. And then we left and we went back home. At the time, I was still living with my daughter's father, and he had returned. He works overseas as a military contractor. So at the time, he had returned home for vacation for like a couple weeks. And so I told him what happened, and he was like, no, 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 no. I had to call the theater. And he heard me in conversation, with the folks. And I didn't like freak out or start cussing nobody out or nothing like that. And he was like, he looked at me and he was like, who are you? And it was at that moment I knew that my growth had been so exponential that others could see it had gone beyond me just feeling my emotional spiritual growth in my own life. It had now gotten to the point that other people could see it. Because he was like, nah, the Nikki I know would be, acting a fool right now. He used to say I acted like Yosemite Sam when I got upset. You know how Yosemite Sam be jumping up and down with the guns and stuff. He's probably right, but um, yeah. So he's like, who are you? You calm? You ain't tripping? And I was like, it's nothing I can do. I just gotta wait and be patient. So when they told me that I couldn't go into the theater because there was another movie playing. They were like, but the movie will be over at this time. Be here. We'll let you in, during the few minutes in between showings when they're cleaning out the theater. And you can go in there and see if you can find your wallet. But you might not find it because we clean, somebody goes in and cleans in between and they, Nobody's reported it or anything like that. So good luck, basically. So I remained confident and I'm like, okay, it'll be cool. It's gonna be there, be fine. So we get back to the theater at the time they told me to be there, and I go in and walk up to where I had been sitting. I look under the seat and there's my wallet. Untouched, just laying there waiting for me to come and grab it. So it had been through two cleanings. It had been, well, at that point, somebody was in there while I had gone in there also to start cleaning up. And it had also been through another movie showing, completely safe and untouched. So needless to say, I got my wallet back and everything was returned to me, as if it had never been gone. And I can't remember if, hold on, please. I can't remember if I had gotten to this practice yet or if it was before, but whatever the case, I had a very similar experience to the ones you talked about here in the book. And funny enough, the last time I did it back in January when I did this practice, my CEO lost his wallet. So he wanted me to like help him with the paperwork so he could get his license back and this, that, and the other, and start recovering all of the things that he had lost in his wallet because he didn't think he was going to get it back. Surely enough, I had been doing this practice, and within a week of him telling me that he had lost his wallet, um, I did a gratitude for the return, the safe return, full recovery of his wallet. And sure enough, he found his wallet. Somebody had turned it in to BART police, and they turned it into the station agent or whatever, and his wallet was there waiting for him. All his cash, he had cash in his wallet. He had all kinds of stuff in his wallet, and everything was there perfectly safe. So this stuff works, y'all. It works. I promise it does. So let's go ahead and do our review for magical practice number 18, the magical to-do list. Number 1, count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as much gratitude for that blessing as you can. Number 2, create a written list of the most important things or problems you need done or resolved. Title your list the magical to-do list. Number 3, choose 3 of the most important things from your list, and one at a time, imagine that each thing has been done for you. Number 4, spend at least 1 minute on each thing, believing it is done and feeling enormous gratitude in return. Excuse me. Just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand. Excuse me, y'all. Number 5, just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you, for the best thing that happened during the day. Okay? So that concludes magical practice number 18, family. Enjoy it. Let me know how things are coming along for you. Please be sure to share this practice with friends, with family, with people you love, with people you don't love. Share the love. Be beings of light, peace, of joy, of good things, especially because they're super, super important at this given time. So that said, I will. Oh no! Before I forget, I gotta share our joint wish, right? And I'm asking everybody, when you get to practice number 13, um, uh, it's going to ask you to extract 10 wishes from the wish list that you did in the prep phase of this whole thing. And you're going to extract 10 wishes. I'm asking everybody if you can share with me, if you can make space on your wish list of 10 for the following wish that will be of benefit not only to us as individuals, but to everybody, right? Thank you for the swift and peaceful elevation of public health and daily activity. So I'm asking everybody to make that one of your 10 uh, wishes for magical practice number 13, and then you can use the other 9 wishes however you see fit. And there's no limit to how many wishes we can have, right? Because everything on our wish list is intended to come into fruition. I'm just asking us if we can prioritize that one wish, so that we can see uh, outside reopen again. Okay. So I will see you all tomorrow, family. Enjoy yourselves. Have a magical, wonderful, fantastic, amazing, wonderful day. I'm sitting here. There's a bouquet of roses sitting on my counter in my kitchen, and there's a beam of light coming through the window and just shining on those flowers in the most beautiful, divine, enchanting, magical way. Um, there's some inspiration for today. Um, I've talked long enough. I'll see y'all tomorrow, family, for day 19 of our live 28-day gratitude practice. Enjoy yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace, family.